This is the home of the most widely used aircraft fastener in the world, the DZUS Spiral Cam Fastener. It was almost 30 years ago that William Dzus, a young immigrant from the Ukraine, invented the original quarter-turn self-locking fastener. And for almost 3 decades, these fasteners have been the standard fastener of the aviation industry, and in many other industries which needed a quick-acting, readily detachable, yet secure fastener. Today, these fasteners may be found in almost all types of aircraft, as well as in industrial motors of every size and description, motor scooters, electronics, adding machines, and many other types of equipment and vehicles too numerous to name. Mr. Dzus, inventor of the original fastener, is still on the job today as chairman of the board and general manager. His son, Theodore Dzus, is president of the corporation. Other officers of the thriving company are Daniel Kane, vice president and secretary; Mr. F.X. Clark, treasurer of the corporation; Mr. L.F. Acker, sales manager; Mr. Harold Kerr, assistant secretary and purchasing agent. The success of this company began with the invention of the now famous standard DZUS fastener. Mr. Theodore Dzus, president of the company, shows how this fastener works. A rotatable stud with a spiral cam at the end engages a permanently mounted spring or receptacle attached to the frame for support. A grommet captivates the stud in the panel. When the stud is turned 90 degrees, the spring rides up the spiral cam and locks securely into place. The tension of the spring makes it impossible to shake or vibrate the fastener loose. Today, the standard line is still the most popular in the world, but DZUS manufactures other types for special needs. The panel fastener is especially developed for use in electronic unit installations. The holes in the panel enable the components to be placed anywhere by simply inserting the fasteners into proper holes. This facilitates quick and easy installation of console units and racks. The supersonic fastener was developed to meet the severe requirements of modern high-speed military aircraft. A receptacle with 2 helical springs provide locking tension with unlimited fatigue value. The universal fastener is a departure from the standard DZUS line in that it does not use the cam principle. Instead, it has a deeply pitched, threaded stud which screws into a special spring-encircled receptacle. As the stud is screwed into the receptacle, the spring is expanded, thus creating a constricting force on the stud, which holds it securely in place. All of these ingenious fasteners are manufactured in plants such as this modern installation in West Islip, Long Island, as well as in plants in England, France, and Germany. We're going to watch the efficient manufacture of DZUS fasteners from the arrival of the raw material to the finished product, packaged and ready for delivery to the purchaser. When orders are sent to the production scheduling department, production of the DZUS fasteners gets underway quickly. The production supervisor plans his schedule to meet the delivery time. Raw materials and semi-finished products are stocked in this department, ready and waiting. These raw materials will enter the Dzus plant to be machined into the components which make up the fasteners known all over the world. Let's visit each of the production departments briefly to give you an overall view of the process of manufacture. This is the engineering department, where design and development takes place, as well as testing of components. All newly designed components of Dzus fasteners are subjected to rigid performance tests before being put into production. Special machines test the components for holding tension, resistance to stress, ability to withstand intense vibration, and general endurance. All of the components tested must measure up to strict tolerances before the fasteners will go into production. Special types of components or fasteners desired by purchasers are designed in this department. This is the automatic screw machine department, where studs are manufactured automatically. In the hand screw machine department, special types of studs are made to order. In this department, the spiral cam slots are milled in the stud blanks. In the cutter department, tools for use in the milling department are made. In the spring department, the various types of springs needed in connection with the Dzus fasteners are manufactured. In the special machines department, spot welding and other special jobs are accomplished. In the panel strip department, the extruded panel strips used in conjunction with the panel fasteners are manufactured. In the grommet department, we can manufacture many different types of grommets for whatever job required. This department assembles the supersonic receptacles. In the machine shop, all of the various tools and machines are constructed, maintained, and repaired. In the metal finishing department, the fastener components are heat treated. Electro-cadmium plated. Anodized and iridized. In the packing department, the fasteners are inspected and packaged for delivery. Although rigid inspection is carried out throughout the manufacturing process, a final inspection of the finished product is made in this department. The shipping department is the end of the efficient chain of production. The raw materials have been transformed into many types of fasteners on their way to the purchasers. Let's see in detail how each of these fasteners are made. We'll begin with the most important fastener of all, the Dzus standard fastener. The three main components of the standard fastener are the studs, springs, and grommets. Our first step in making the stud is to manufacture the blank. In the automatic screw machine department, steel rods fed into this machine are cut into studs with the head and shape of the final stud, but without the spiral cam slot. For special orders, the studs are machined by hand in the hand screw machine department. The blanks are inspected for physical defects. Then they are stamped with the Dzus trademark and the part number. The next step is to cut the spiral cam slot in the studs. This process, the most important step of all, is done on machines manipulated by skilled operators. Now the studs must be deburred in the tumbler department. This is done in tumblers which rotate, causing the studs to burnish each other. In the metal finishing department, the studs are heat treated, a process which will make them stronger and harder. The last step in the creation of the stud is electrocadmium plating, which will prevent rust. The second major component of the fastener is the spring, and is manufactured in this way. Large coils of music wire are straightened and chopped to size. Another machine winds the coiled ends, and still another machine clips the ends to size. Finally, a foot press squeezes the spring to the precise height needed. Along with this wire straightening machine, there is an automatic machine for long standard runs, which accomplishes the entire operation within itself. The third component of the standard fastener, the grommet, begins from a strip which is punched and formed, or from a tube which is cut to be formed and deburred later. There are many different shapes of grommets which are being manufactured in the Dzus plant. They are inspected here. After the components have been inspected and tested, they are ready for delivery from the packaging department. The standard line is packed in its 3 component parts. The studs are counted on racks. The springs are weighed. And the grommets counted and boxed. The components of the standard Dzus fastener are then delivered to the shipping department to be made ready for the purchaser or put into stock. Dzus' other types of fasteners are manufactured just as efficiently. In the panel fastener, production begins with the manufacture of the stud. These studs are made identically to those used in the standard fasteners. The other components are a cup, a spring, and the receptacle strip. In this department, the receptacle strips are produced in 10-foot lengths or may be cut to the customer's specifications. The helical springs are made automatically on this machine, then ground flat and sent to plating. The receptacle strips are inspected, packaged, and shipped separately. The spring, stud, and cups are assembled into a punch card, 50 to a card. The manufacture of the supersonic stud is identical to that of the standard. The receptacle for the stud is assembled in the supersonic receptacle department. The components of the supersonic stud are inspected, packaged, and shipped separately. The universal fastener has a unique type of stud, which is made on this Davenport screw machine. The threads are rolled on these thread rolling machines. The receptacles are manufactured and the spring attached. The components of the universal fastener are inspected, tested, and shipped. This is the story of production at Dzus, but there is more to the story of manufacture than machines and skilled workers. The complex business of the corporation is carried on in the administrative offices, which handle the flow of raw materials, and all the complicated bookkeeping which goes with the workings of a large modern corporation. This sales office represents Dzus in dealings with the buyers. The purchasing department purchases the raw materials. The accounting department keeps track of all the intake and outgo of money associated with the business. All of these offices, together with the efficient production facilities of Dzus, make the fasteners which are known all over the world. There are thousands of specially designed Dzus fasteners that have been made for a specific need in the fast-moving world of today. Today, Dzus fasteners in one form or another are almost everywhere. When man makes his first trip into space, it is almost certain that somewhere on board, Dzus fasteners will be helping to make his ship secure. The dream of a young immigrant 30 years ago is now an important part of our engineering progress, used by thousands of aircraft as well as civilian products. When better fasteners are needed, this plant will be ready with the fasteners to do whatever job is required, anywhere in the world.